Hey there, Adrienne Elise here. Welcome to the Gaia Daily for August 30th through September 3rd, 2021. How are you doing? Wow. Well, we continue to try to find the ground under our feet in these strange times that we're living in. And we're really feeling this as the sun is in exact square to the nodes of the moon. And this energy, the nodes of the moon, North Node Gemini, South Node Sagittarius, are bringing up issues with this tension square. So the sun is in square to the nodes, and so it's kind of a tension. The nodes represent our future and past karma. How are we going to get to where we're going and what's holding us back? So it's about direction. The sun is about identity. Who are we? So in mutable signs, this last year and plus of Gemini, Sag, nodes of the moon in mutable signs has brought an energy of not knowing where we're going and what we're doing. Mutable signs are about adjustment and saying, okay, well, maybe this way. Oh, maybe this way. Now that's awesome. And that's where we've needed to be. But it's like, bringing an energy, especially with the world events, this feeling of just being suspended in time, like stuck in between timelines, like can't go forward and create in the new, can't figure out how to make it in the old. What in the heck is going on? And so there's a bloom of this energy, but it's bringing up. So in September, what happens is that the nodes of the moon are now at 6 degrees. And right after we move into September, they move to 5 degrees. They go backwards, like the shift of ages, and then 4 degrees. So it's like getting to the end of this whole saga. Now they slow down in eclipse season, which is going to be November, December this year. And so, through the end of the year, the nodes of the moon will be in this placement, and it's speaking to this energy right now with the sun square the nodes. It's like a completion. What are we doing here? How are we going to get to where we're going, and what is going on, and who are we? And so the Gemini has an energy around communication and where we've lost our voice, our ability to be heard and seen in the world. And then Sagittarius, it's about the stories, the quest, the journey, the path, and where we've gotten off our path and the connection between those, right? Where we gave up our voice, we gave up our path. Now, but there's really weird stuff going on here because for SuperNova Souls, we're all waiting on this grand reveal thing. We know that big changes have to happen. Big truths need to come out. And with the revealing of big truths also is the revealing of the big truth of you and you unlocking your abundance. And so part of the rearranging strange, I don't know where I'm going, where I'm coming from and who I am in this period of time might actually be evidence that it feels like you've gotten really far off your path, but it's a very strange time of converging timelines and dualities, and up and is down and left is right. And so there's this energy of like, the further you feel off of your path right now, it may be that the closer you actually are. So all of this is coming up this week, and feeling this kind of like craving for just that feeling of knowing where you're going and what your next steps are. And yet we are being asked to navigate and create in a completely different way. Right? Part of this is like, oh, you've been on this inappropriate timeline. It's time to just tumble down onto that divine timeline, that more appropriate timeline. And how can you create from the wrong timeline? But you had some stuff you had to work out there in order to get here. And so it's just a very powerful time of redirection in order to find direction. And trusting the lack of direction is really the message. Because the great reveal that's happening for SuperNova Souls is this, like, potentially this bigger part of you couldn't quite land and incarnate at the time that you were born on this earth because of energies and situations. And now that the energies are changing on the earth as we evolve in our spiritual ascension experience, then you're having more and more permission to land here, even though it's interesting because it's outwardly hostile right now to any kind of freedom, any kind of voice, any kind of path, right? But at the same time, that is evidence. The outer mechanisms of control in our world is evidence that they're losing control. That the frequency is rising beyond, so the energies of control are trying to create these long-term agenda to everything they can to stop this spiritual awakening. And yes, yet nothing can stop what is coming. And that might be you, this whole bigger part of you. So it's like, okay, so how can you know where you're going and what you're doing if there's this whole piece of you missing, right? And then SuperNova Souls, of course, so sensitive, feeling the collective energies, feeling the stuck energy, feeling the uncertainty of the masses right now. And so kind of wanting so badly to feel some sort of confirmation, like something you can trust and believe in right now. And it's just elusive. In fact, it's like our reality is changing moment to moment. And maybe that's actually us changing moment to moment in this rapid evolution. This is part of the definition of SuperNova Soul. When I was getting the downloads about these particular souls and these soul groups, inevitably come to a place of rapid awakening. And that's going on for all of these soul groups right now. And we all go through our own pattern of, squeezing times and growth and all that. But, we're all trying to land home this bigger part of who we are. And so it may be that you don't know who you are and you feel lost because the way that your bigger self is ready to go is completely different than the way your littler mind, psychological mind, thought you were going, right? So there's that ego death energy. But the sun here square the nodes, the sun is who do you think you are? And so it's kind of like, who do you think you are and where do you think you're going? And it's like, I don't know. Papers, please. It's like, So we're going nowhere, which is everywhere, right? And recognizing, so the thing that's going on, so we've got sun square the nodes, which is like, who are you? What are you doing? And this tension and stress. It's like a PTSD that's built up in this whole last couple year and a half of like the world being so uncertain. And if you're an aware soul, other souls are just kind of going along and doing their thing. And they're kind of, putting that all aside. But you haven't been able to. And it's been excruciatingly painful as a person who's sensitive to the collective energies. And so it's kind of this buildup of this lost feeling, alone feeling. What in the heck are we doing? But it feels like it's just, you can't ignore this feeling that we are on the precipice. Something is building into great change, dramatic change. And so here we are. And so but maybe it's helpful for SuperNova Souls, what's coming forward, a really clear message. It's like literally a parallel experience, a revealing of dark truths and truths that have been keeping humanity disempowered, go right along exactly with the revealing of the light. And for you, SuperNova Soul, that's the truth of who you really are. You've been running from, you've been hiding from, you've been scared of because you've been programmed, right? Disconnected, invalidated. So this is a huge kind of like moment in time. And from now until the end of the year, it's about like you've been going in the train in the roundhouse, going around and around. I can't remember where direction I came from. And well, the sun was setting, but now it's rising. And am I even on a planet or am I in a dome, firmament? Like what is even going on here? But this next couple of months is like, okay, we can't just stay in this limbo forever, right? And all the astrology of 2021, which is about recovering from the astrology and adjusting from the astrology of 2020, is all about this adjustment, rearranging. And so perhaps this next few months is all about that path unfolding in front of you as you are reacquainted and it's like a second birth that we're going through here with this incarnation of our bigger self. And so how can you know how to plan or what's coming when you don't even know who you are? And go ahead and validate that uncertain feeling. And then that message that says the less you know, feel secure about your path and direction means the more you're doing it, right? The more you're actually closer to your true path. So really interesting times. Now, the other thing we have going on is what Mercury just did and Venus just did. Now it's Mars' turn to come into an opposition with Neptune and a trine with Pluto at the same time. Now this is triggering this beautiful sextile, 2 degrees up out of sextile, Neptune, 22 degrees Pisces, and Pluto at 24 degrees Capricorn. And so that sextile angle is 60 degrees. So it's 2 signs. And it's like next best friend. It's about holding hands and figuring it out. It's about creative solutions. And these big player planets, this is about the delusions of the Piscean age and the control energies that came along with that, making sure we never come into our power with Pluto and Capricorn. So we're looking at creative solutions to step out of the nightmare and into the dream. And yet we're like, but we don't know who we are, where we're going, And there's deep grief coming up with those triggering of the nodes as we come to the completion of this nodal axis, this nodal energy, where you gave up your voice, you stayed silent, you hid who you were in your expression, and how that's related to giving up your power and control of your own sovereignty. So the solution is coming back into, ironically, coming back into spiritual service. But this is the deal, right? Spiritual service in the past, in those old stories, meant a specific role playing, doing a specific thing. Now spiritual service, and this might help in your feeling like where am I going and what am I doing? Your path, your purpose, your true path, your true purpose is the presence of the moment, because we're changing our relationship to time. And so the level of service, the service that you want to do, it's always, we say spiritual service, and we think, oh, it's going and doing some specific thing with some organization and a nonprofit and all that. It's like, no, this is you being true in each moment as much as you can, like showing up in your spiritual truth. And like, I'm not going to hide. I'm not going to quiet my voice. I'm not going to, it's a very different energy, and it actually might really help us find direction in these uncertain times. And that's totally the creative solution too. You get out of the control energies by showing back up in your spiritual service. It's like, because you quieted your voice and you hid who you were to stay safe, you succumbed to the power and control energies represented by that Pluto and Capricorn. And so then you got off your path, and then you feel like you're not doing what you're here to do. And then you're beating yourself up for all of it. And so what if getting back on your path is like this just claiming this, learning from the intelligence that is embedded in the rocks and the trees and the plants and the animals, and showing up in your full presence. You don't have to know who you are. You know who you are, right? So it's a very interesting energy to play with, but so powerful, this astrology, because we've had our planets all do this, triggering this sextile and saying, come on, you guys, come on. Here's the way out. Here's the way out. Here's the way out. You go in and you show up, not in your truth that was taken from you as some concept, showing up in your truth, which is who you are as a soul, which you don't even know. But it's more true than this bullshit contrived reality of the Maya, like kabuki theater, right? So that's our way out of the trap. Now, a really cool energy is happening with so Mars is opposite Neptune and trine Pluto, bringing, triggering this very powerful sextile between these big player planets, trying to harmonize this transition. There's so much evidence right now that we really are in this transition to a whole new age. And that's why everything is so weird, So, but Venus is in Libra now, home in Libra. She loves to be home in Libra. She feels empowered. She feels safe. She feels like she can claim her right to the resources she needs and the support and the love and the beauty of this world, right? And so, but she's in square to Pluto on the exact day that Mars is trining Pluto. So it's like the warrior is supporting the goddess. And we have seen so much over these last 3-4 years of astrology around first the masculine rehashing the masculine and healing the feminine and empowering the masculine. And now there's this beautiful energy right now of them working together with and it's kind of like, if we're really going to get that feminine out of the shame game and out of this low self-worth and, which is inside of all of us, right? Then the masculine's got to have her back, And this is how we get back to the garden. It's that perfect balance. The perfect balance doesn't mean like masculine. See, this is part of the programming, dangerous programming of our time, that the feminine, and you can see where these agendas have played out very deliberately, right? And it's like, well, the feminine has to become more masculine. And then the masculine has to become more feminine. And then we can find that perfect balance. It's like, no, because computers don't have sexes, right? Computers only have zeros and ones. And so this is, and our masculine and our feminine in the archetypes of these energies is how we get back to oneness consciousness. So it's very dangerous to have an agenda to lose those. It's almost like how we have lost our culture to this idea of we need to become one global. It's like, yeah, we need to come into our oneness consciousness and start healing and say, our world. But our cultural identity is so important, because it keeps us in our roots. It keeps us with what's values and family. And so it's just like this with the masculine and the feminine energies, It's not about the feminine becoming more masculine. It's like the feminine being feminine and being honored and loved and precious. And it's like, hey, any decisions and any way we're going to go in this world, we got to now listen again. That's the voice that's been taken. And then the masculine being masculine, stand up, get a backbone. This is masculine energy is so important, right? And this whole duality consciousness, pitting every side against each other, divide and conquer agenda has put a wedge between the masculine and feminine to fight against each other, and so this astrology is very interesting message here. It's like Venus wants to get back to the garden, that perfect balance, that harmony, that peace where she can rest. But it's like, if the feminine isn't there if the masculine isn't there to have her back, then she can't rest in the garden, right? So it's a really cool energy. Mars, the warrior, saying, hey, I got you, girl. Stand up. I want to hear what you have to say. If we're going to have a balanced world, we need to acknowledge and consult the intuitive feminine voice, and beautiful energy with Venus and Libra. Now, Mercury is moving over into Libra tomorrow. And so we'll be joining Venus in Libra, bringing forward more of this Libra energy, of this desire for harmony and balance and peace. Now, it's interesting, though, because Mercury is taking a retrograde in Libra. So right as it moves into Libra, we're already feeling this kind of quite an energy, a powerful energy of confliction with this Mercury in Libra, this desire for harmony and balance, and yet what is in the way. And so this is because as Mercury will be turning retrograde at 25 degrees Libra and turning direct again at 10 degrees Libra. And so hanging out in Libra for a long time. And it's really powerful because at the 25 degree mark, it will be squaring Pluto. in Capricorn. And then at the 10-degree mark, it will be opposing Chiron in Aries. So the core issues of our time of freedom and autonomy and taking our mind and our power back and getting back to the garden where we can rest without harassment, with this technological grid and programming, it's everything. So now Mercury will complete its whole story in Virgo, in that Libra, and come out of retrograde shadow and have that final square with Pluto on November 3rd. 1 year from the US election last year, which we've been in a complete and total fog ever since, and even before that, leading up to that event. So we're we're having to face the music and sort through it all, and there's a lot over like I said, to the end of this year, so much is completing. The nodes will be moving signs. So we're like finishing up, completing this energy of rearranging. We will be having the eclipse season there at the end of the year. Saturn square Uranus, full year transit. We've been feeling since January. That will be completing. And Jupiter going over for the third time, that Aquarius Pisces cusp, the place of the shift of ages. So all that happens in December. And so it's kind of like, know that these next months are when you're complete your rearranging and get on that new path and get ready to go, preparation. But a lot of overhaul and adjustment and revealing and facing the music in order to get there. So I've definitely got the message. It's been, like I said, such a difficult psychic time for the SuperNova Souls, because you're sensitive to collective energies. Now, it's interesting, when the collective energies have to face more truth as they are revealed, you're going to actually feel better, because it's like the collective has been, you've been kind of processing. We talk about how SuperNova Souls have a tendency to become the garbage collector, the recycler of energies, right? And not even realizing you're doing it. You're just so freaking capable. And this is your problem. And isn't it time to come into those capabilities and use them in a way that you're supported, you're aware? Do you ever feel like there's this whole host of energies out there that know everything about you, and you're just clueless without a roadmap? This is the reconciliation that's happening. And it's almost like this shift and truth disclosure is also that revealing of your abundance. And it's kind of like the masses need to face the music on this other level of the way we've been, to the level to which we've been manipulated. And it's time to get running with solutions. We're here. It's time to create. The solutions are already created, right? It's almost like that part of us, we don't know who it is. There's also these technologies and pathways and organizations and things that are kind of coming together behind the scenes and on these other timelines, maybe, I don't know. But I'm seeing a landing, and it's a bumpy landing. It's like an airplane trying to land on a stony ground, and it's kind of bumping over the stones and not sure if it really even wants to land, bumping back up again, because as you come, this bigger self coming into land, in this part of you that you have not been able to be fully and harmonized with and integrated with, maybe that part of you, that part coming in, it's almost like until that part comes in, then you can't really resolve completely those old stories. So those rocks in the road are coming. But the rocks in the road are the ones that have been like really messing with you, like kicking you out of your body, that trauma button, that deep-seated programming that you haven't been able to get to, and the past life memories. We've been talking about that. So a very profound and powerful time of like trying to land. It's a little bit of a bumpy landing, but here we go. The second birth, we're doing it. The big reveal is coming. And so powerful energies coming through potentially at that new moon in Virgo. That's going to be Monday, September 6th. Watch out for a Labor Day in the US. Watch out for a activation for that new moon in Virgo. We've definitely gotten messages that past life pictures and real information that can help you get your roadmap there's like the veil is opening to that. So when we work together, the activation is a guided meditation, and you can get some insights and clues that can support you. And it's all about finding out who you are right now. Now in Virgo, it's about finding out who you are as a planetary healer. These gifts and skills you have that the biggest gifts and skills you have are the deepest buried treasures. So that's maybe why we've been just having to go down to the depths, right? And you've spent enough time in the hell realms, haven't you? You know, you're not scared. So that's why you're just perfectly poised to be such a gift for this world. And that is unknown, right? It's like that unknown. You don't know who you are. We don't know our full God potential, and we're all uncovering. We don't know our full timeline, what's available to us as we in this evolution, but we're all patiently waiting, not so patiently. Anticipation is a very powerful energy. And maybe that it's almost like a feeling of, maybe as we move into the end of the year, like a Christmas, like a revealing of this second birth of who we really are, of the potential of our world, of the technologies that have been withheld from us, of these incredibly bright supernova star leaders who have been hiding in the wings, waiting till the time is right and safe for them to be revealed. And so here we are. So the way that you can do your disclosure is by showing up in your truth in each moment. And maybe that's, this is my path. This is my path, because we're in such a dynamic time. I know it feels so stuck, but it's actually really dynamic. And maybe that's it. Our reality, our sense of time, our who knows physical reality changing moment by moment. So we show up in service and in our full potential, which is the same thing. Our spiritual service and our full potential. And it's the truth of the moment. And so just be there, just like, yeah, this is my path. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Really powerful energies to use this dynamic astrology to slip through out of the chains, out of the nightmare and into the dream. And let's do it together. So keep an eye out for that new moon, Virgo new moon activation. Be present with these energies. Incredibly powerful time. The bigger you, the truth of you is being revealed. So exciting times lie ahead. And just don't forget that as we go through the muck and the mud of the next couple of months. So I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much for your support and for being with me. Check out the SuperNova Soul Tribe on my website. The information is to sign up for that is below. It's a membership group, $9.99 a month. And that gets you Q&A sessions, discounts to the events, and a weekly update on Wednesdays. So stay in touch. I can't wait to talk to you again soon. So much love, SuperNova Souls. I look forward to seeing you on the next update. Until then, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.